Hi guys, this is the first video topic that we're going to do, which is about the subject of our new style of essay, which is argument essays. So to begin with, I have a topic, which is also one of the topics that you have for your journal assignment this week. So if you want to pause the video and write about it, you can do that to get a start. The topic is studying a language should be a graduation requirement for college students. What's your opinion of this statement? Notice this means that all students, even people, and especially maybe people who speak English, would have to study a different language in order to graduate. So if you want to practice and do your journal writing, free writing now, you could pause the video and do this. If not, you can keep going on the video. So I'm going to talk today about the key points of argument essays, and at the end I will also want you to give feedback about what things were not clear about argument essays. So basically in argument essays, you can explain what the other side thinks in order to argue against it, but you must choose one side of a topic and argue it. So this is a big difference from cause and effect essays. When we wrote our effect essays, it was okay to say 2 positive effects and 1 negative, or 1 positive effect and 2 negatives. But now for the argument essay, we must choose one side of the topic and we must represent it completely throughout the whole essay. We do mention what the other side thinks, but really we only mention their opinion in order to explain why it's wrong. Mostly we focus on what we believe. So you can imagine the same idea used when you argue, for example, with someone in your family. If someone in your family tells you, hey, you spent $200 at Target, I'm really mad at you. And they have the receipts. What can you do? You can't say, no, I didn't spend $200 at Target. You have to sort of mention or acknowledge what they say. So you can say, yes, maybe I did spend $200 at Target, but you spent $400 at Best Buy last week. So we don't start arguing the other person's side, but we have to recognize their side in order to argue against it. And we'll talk more about how to do that later. Whenever you see an argument topic, which you might see, which you will see, of course, in in-class writing, at-home writing, and then on the ESSEWAT, where it will be one of your 2 topic choices, you will either usually see a question with should. For example, should studying a foreign language be a graduation requirement for college students? That would be an argument essay topic. They can also write it a different way, which is agree or disagree and then a sentence. Like agree or disagree, studying a foreign language should be a graduation requirement for college students. So whenever you see an essay prompt written one of these 2 ways, you would know that it's an argument essay. Let's make some important notes about how to write a thesis statement for an argument essay. First of all, in your argument thesis, you must take a side. You cannot say that both sides are correct. For example, you can't say some college students should learn a language, but some should not. We have to choose one side, yes or no. The way you can tell if you've taken a side is if the word should or should not is in your thesis. Second, don't weaken your argument. Don't use phrases like I believe that, I agree, or in my opinion. Yes, in some ways the thesis is your opinion, but these types of statements make your argument thesis much weaker and not strong. Also, they're not logical for an argument thesis. For example, if I say I agree that college students should learn a language, what's the opposing idea? What's the opposite of that? The opposite is I disagree, and that doesn't make sense. That's why we just want to assert our opinion. College students should or college students should not, without adding these weakening statements. Finally, the most important thing about an argument thesis statement is we have to argue, not describe. Again, the word should or should not in the thesis is a good way of telling that you're arguing, not describing. Let's check some thesis statements to see if they're good or not. The first one, in my opinion, there are 3 reasons why studying a foreign language should be a graduation requirement for college students. This thesis is clearly not appropriate because of the words, in my opinion. If you remove those words, this would be a fine thesis statement. Number 2, studying a language has 3 good benefits. The problem with this thesis statement is that it describes studying a language. It doesn't argue about studying a language. Number 2 would be a good thesis for an effect essay about language learning. However, it's not a good thesis statement for an argument essay because it does not take a position. Simply, you can tell because the word should and shouldn't is not in this thesis statement. Number 3, there are some positive and negative aspects to learning a language. This is not a good argument thesis statement because it shows both sides, the positive and the negative aspects about learning a language. We must choose only one side when we write an argument thesis. Number 4, although some people argue that languages are not necessary, colleges should require these courses for 3 reasons. When you look at this thesis statement, you might notice that it does say that there are 2 parts of it that appear to contradict each other or go against each other. The first part says languages are not necessary. The second part says colleges should require these courses for 3 reasons. Hopefully, you were able to tell that this is a good thesis statement because the part of the sentence that's in although is contrasting information. Also, it says some people argue. This means this part of the thesis is not the author's opinion, not the writer of the essay's opinion. So in this case, the person believes colleges should require these courses. So this means this is a good thesis statement. Number 5, although learning a new language might be beneficial, colleges should not require foreign language courses for graduation for 3 reasons. Again, this is a good thesis because the writer's main idea is clear and takes one side. Colleges should not require foreign language courses. The beginning information in the clause with although is provided only as a contrast and is marked as not so important. In the next video, we'll look at the thesis statement in the sample essay. Make sure you have your argument essay packet ready for this part.